I'm your host, Kelly Morgan, indie author and indie publisher. Welcome to another episode of The Author's Mic. Welcome to today's episode.
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Author's Mic. My name is Kelly, indie author, indie publisher, and you know it's Monday because we have a guest. With me, I have Donovan Riddenbach, who calls himself a serial entrepreneur. He's an author, he's a speaker, does a lot with AI, website, but he is here to talk about his book. Hold it up for us, Donovan. Prompt
Yeah.
Virtuoso, and
Virtuoso,
talk about
yes.
AI and writing, which I think is really important to a lot of indie authors who, are maybe on the fence about using AI. Maybe some do use it, maybe some don't. I think there's a lot of discussion around it and being able to use AI and keep your voice. So, Donovan, welcome.
Wow, this is great. Thanks, Kelly. It's fun to be here. This book, this is my second book baby. I'm just gonna call it a book baby because I put so much effort into this. Um, I had originally written Master the Art of Chat GPT prompting 2.5 years ago. And that was how to use Chat GPT when it was just coming up. And I realized that I needed to update that book. And in the course of doing so, I thought I'd do an experiment where I would co-write the book with Claude. So Claude isn't kind of an alternative to ChatGPT. They're the two big competitors in the space, right?
Okay.
So for those who don't know, and the thing is, Claude is a much better professional writer. If you want to keep your tone of voice, if you want to, do a 3,000 word article or a 5,000 word chapter, Claude it's just more stable and you can do that. So I thought I would give it a try. And it was really, um, it was an interesting experience. Like I got the book done in 6 weeks, so cranked it out.
So I have questions because you're saying you
Yeah.
co-wrote the book with Claude, this AI platform. So how does that work? What do you mean you co-wrote the book?
So what I did is I took my previous book, right? This little guy here, Master the Art of ChatGPT Prompting, and I had already put a lot of work and a lot of editing into it, and it needed to be updated because there had been a lot of changes. So one of the things that I would do is I would take my existing chapter and I'd stick it in and have it update the chapter for, right? But then there were other, I was really trying to experiment with this and play around with it since it's such a new technology. My preferred way of co-writing is I write something out, stream of thought, like top of mind, consciousness, just let it all out. This is what I'm thinking. And then I have Claude I use it to organize my thoughts and then to write. And I go through and I, at that point, you become kind of an editor, right?
Right, right.
Because you're having Claude do the writing and then you're going through, I like this, I don't like that. You didn't use my language, you changed my whatever, like giving it the feedback. And it was really interesting what it could what it could do and what it couldn't do. But I feel pretty good with about it. Um,
I find it interesting because there are probably a lot of people out there who have used AI to either write their book or maybe even, co-write the book like you, but they may not come out and call it out and call it co-writing. And so I find it very interesting that you took that approach to it, recognizing that AI is taking what you're saying, kind of rewriting it so that it flows a little better, but you still have creative because you're the one who went back and edited everything and made sure that it was in your voice. You weren't just leaving it up to AI.
Yeah, and it was really um I found that when I have AI write something for me, I'm never happy with it. And it doesn't
Mm.
feel really particularly good. So I have to, the more I pound on it, the more I go through and really massage it, the better I feel about it,
Right,
right?
right.
Like the better it's like, okay, I have done my job and I feel good about this, not I cheated and copied the smart kid's homework, right?
Well, I
Um,
feel like when you put the idea, it's one thing to say, I want to write a book about AI, write me a book.
right.
And AI could probably spit something out where you're taking your thoughts and your words and you're dumping it, using it more as an assistant, using it, you're going back and forth and who's editing.
Right. So, for example, my fourth chapter is how AI became the seventh great mirror.
Mm,
So, in every failed fairy tale, every myth, every ghost story, mirrors are magical. They show the future, they reveal hidden truths. Snow White's stepmother consults her mirror for wisdom. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? These stories weren't born from universal experience, they were born from the rarity of the experience. Mirrors were magical because most people had never had access to clear reflections, despite being one of only 10 species on Earth capable of self-recognizing in a mirror. But here's what most people don't realize. We've been living through mirror revolutions our entire lives. Each new type of mirror fundamentally changed what it means to be human, and we're in the middle of the most profound mirror revolution of all. We've invented a mirror that reflects not your face, but your mind.
mm. And that's very interesting that you say that because I know that a lot of people will misuse AI. And, AI cannot predict the future. It's not smarter than us because it was created, but it can process information a whole lot quicker than our brains can. And it can put things together a lot
Yeah.
quicker than our brain can, but it can't, people just misuse it. So it's very interesting to me the way that it's kind of how it has its great purposes, but then it's incredibly misused at the same time.
Yeah. And I'm just going to call this out. Artificial intelligence is not intelligent at all. Okay? And it's called the illusion of thinking. There's all sorts of interesting stuff if you want to get into it. It's basically autocomplete on steroids, but it looks really like smart, but trust me, without getting into the technical details, it's not, but it does a really good job of convincing you that it is if you don't think about it critically.
Right.
So
I
yeah, so the where that is actually even more interesting to me than like thank heavens it's not intelligent and it's dumb as a box of rocks, so to speak, because then it's not going to take over the world. And what it means is it puts all of the responsibility back on you as the author to think, to critically, analytically, to rearrange it, to do all the important stuff because AI can't do anything unless you tell it to.
right, very true.
You got
Very
to tell
true.
it exactly what to do. And if you don't know your craft, you're not going to be able to tell it, you
What
know,
to do? Yeah, I
do
get it.
this, switch this from the third person to the first person. Like, and that's where I'm excited as an author that it can let you do those things that would be tedious, right? Like go through and replace all instances of where the green eyes have now become blue eyes. It's a horror nightmare. Or change the point of view from you to I or whatever. Like
Right.
it can take care of all that so you can focus on creativity.
Agreed. Donovan, if people are interested in getting your book or connecting with you, how do they do that?
Um, Go to donovanrittenbach.com. That's I will give it, I guess it'll be in the
It will be in the description, yes.
yeah, you could also find Prompt Virtuoso on uh on Amazon.
Is the other
So
one available too, the first one?
it is, yes. Prompt Virtuoso, by the way, it's called Secret Techniques to Amplify Your Intelligence and Not Get Hacked by AI. So I teach you defense against the dark arts of AI, which is always a good thing to know.
Always a good thing to know. Donovan, thank you so much for being a part of the Author's Mic. Let me do my laundry list before we let everybody go, real quick. If you are an author and you are interested in sharing this platform with me, it's really easy. You just go to the website, you go to the Be a Guest tab, fill out some information, you get the link to schedule yourself, boom, you're a guest. It literally is that easy. No fees or nothing, no hidden costs, nothing up my sleeve. Just come be a guest. If you are interested in starting your writing journey and you don't know where to start, there is a 44-page guide on my website. It's free. Go download it, start your writing journey. If you're interested in supporting me, I have two books. They're both available on the website, but you can get them anywhere. You Sound White and Wait for It. And if you are an author and you are interested in pitching our book club, and if you're a reader and you're interested in joining our book club, join us. It's called the IRS, the Indie Reader Society. That too is on the website. So we would love to have you join us and help us build a community. Donovan, thank you so much for being a part of the Author's Mic. I appreciate you and the time and just all the information about AI. It's really interesting. So let me ask you one question. When we are out here using AI to help us, if you could give us one solid piece of advice, what would it be?
Stop using it like it's Google. You have access to the most advanced intelligence thinking technology on the planet. So get creative and stop limiting your, like, think outside the box. Stop limiting your thinking. This is the frontier. You can do anything you want. So play with it.